So Tesla just had their earnings report and it didn't really go over too great. The stock not responding, great to it. It's on a pretty big drop actually. We can look at that actually right here. And this is the Tesla stock today, the day after, down about 10%. If you go to the week, you can see exactly where it fell off from 183 to where it is now at 163. But Tesla is not looking at the greatest position that they could be in. And it seems like the hype for Tesla from the retail crowd might be going away. I mean, a lot of people have been super bullish, and retail is the biggest reason why Tesla exploded like it did before in 2020, 2021. And, they reaped the rewards of that, but a lot of people also rode it all the way back down. But those people, the retail, I think are starting to lose a little bit of hope on Tesla because they keep getting promised the same thing over and over and over again. And that's the full self driving. Every single time in these calls, there's the full self driving is coming next year. And Elon Musk has been saying that every single year for like the past 8 years. And we can see some of the people talking about that on Twitter, right? Some people saying Musk refused to answer the question about how much the FSD take rate is at the moment. It means it's below 5% globally. So that's talking about the full self-driving rates. You got other people saying Musk once again states he believes Tesla will achieve full self-driving by the end of the year. And if you look at the responses, you can see like this year he really means it. We've heard that before. It's so bad now I've stopped using it. We're at least 2 to 3 years out. So even the people responding to this seems to stop, taking all this at face value. They're not just saying, well, it's coming at the end of the year, it's going to be great, it's going to blow up, robo taxis of the future, because that's the big thing that Elon Musk and Tesla are clinging to, are robo taxis and the full self-driving car being able to do itself and drive itself, and then you can monetize your car to become a robo taxi and use it to make money, and it's like the whole thing they're banking on. But it just seems like that's always promised to come next year, and then it doesn't come. You can see there's even a video someone put together, montages of Elon Musk talking about full self-driving for the past 8 years, saying, next year it's coming, and it just never comes.
For 8 years, Elon Musk has been saying he would deliver a self-driving car in a year or so. He still isn't close.
The Tesla car next year will probably be 90% capable of autopilot. So 90% of your miles can be on auto.
We're probably only a month away from having autonomous driving, at least for highways and for relatively simple roads. The Model S and Model X at this point can drive autonomously with greater safety than a person right now. We're still on track for being able to go cross-country from LA to New York by the end of the year, fully autonomous.
But next year, for sure, we will have over 1 million robo-taxis on the road.
I'm extremely confident of achieving full autonomy and releasing it to the Tesla customer base next year.
When do you think Tesla will solve level 4 FSD?
I mean, it's looking quite likely that it will be next year.
So you can see every single year, it's always, oh, it's coming next year. And then the next year, the same response, it's coming next year. I think people are starting to get a little tired of it. And maybe there's been, strides taken towards getting this FSD stuff and full self-driving, but there's a major problem for that to actually roll out. And that's like regulations and the government. Like the government is the biggest thing standing in the way. Even if you get all of this and you perfect it and you have full self-driving, the government still might not let it actually launch and let you do that because they're going to have their own questions about safety and regulations and everything. So I don't know. Elon Musk, obviously not in, the best spot with full self-driving because it's always coming next year. And then next year, it doesn't come out. Which I think one of the biggest problems is that it's been promised next year for so many years now, and people have paid for this, right? When you order a Tesla, you can pay for full self-driving or reserve your spot with the price that goes up. So it's very well marketed. But ultimately, if you pay that, and you're sitting on this for 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, and you still don't have it, you're going to feel like you got ripped off, and rightfully so. But another problem for Tesla that seems to be trying to be twisted around like it's the best thing and Tesla's actually being spectacular here is the price cuts that come with what Tesla's been doing. And we can see In one of the questions was actually asked in the earnings report here. You can see how is the global order intake tracked since the most recent round of price cuts, to which Elon Musk says, I think the overall thing we can say is that the orders are in excess of production. But if that was true, if you have more orders than you can produce, then you wouldn't cut prices, because you only cut prices if you don't have the demand there. If you have the demand there, then you increase prices, because obviously it's how it works. If you can't produce what people want, you increase prices. You have the ability to do that because people are willing to buy it. But the problem right now is with Tesla is that you don't have the ability to do that. You can't increase prices because already people can't afford Teslas, and it's showing. You know, the big, strong Tesla base that has been buying Teslas for the past few years is tapped out. They own 2-3 Teslas, like they don't need more cars. And the new crowd that you want to go after can't afford a luxury car. And that comes into the next big problem for Tesla, which is the price cuts cut into their gross margin, which is the big thing that people are looking at, seeing the margin dips to 19.3% of the price cuts. So I don't know what the bigger numbers are for like the bigger car manufacturers, the other car manufacturers, but the price margin is what Tesla has always been, you know, good on. That's what people look at and say they make so much money selling their cars. But right now, it doesn't seem like they're doing that. And they've talked about, you know, the price reductions here, saying, although we implemented price reductions on many vehicle models across regions in the first quarter, our operating margins reduced at a manageable rate. We expect ongoing cost reduction of our vehicles, including improved production efficiency at our newest factories and lower logistic costs, and remain focused on operating leverage as we scale. I think that's the biggest thing that's been harped on, is that Tesla is going to lower prices to increase market share, to scale up and do all this stuff, but I just don't see it working out that way. I don't see people going out and trying to get Teslas if Teslas are luxury cars, which right now they are luxury vehicles, right? They're not these affordable cars. People aren't going out on, you know, a normal 9 to 5 and an average salary going out trying to buy Teslas. They're trying to buy the more affordable cars. And tying into the price cuts, you see Tesla slash the price of their Model 3 and Model Y EVs yet again. In fact, bringing one of them to below $40,000. Yesterday's price cut was the 6th one this year by Tesla. So in the time where they say production can't keep up with demand, but they're cutting prices 6 times in what, 4 months? So that tells you something. That tells you that there's not demand for these cars. People can't afford them. So that's why they're cutting prices, because if people could afford them, they wouldn't be cutting prices. If they had so much demand, they wouldn't be cutting prices. And we'll just end with Kathy Woods, who's like the biggest bull in the planet for Tesla. I don't know how many shares of Tesla she has in ARK, but she says ARK Invest announced their updated Tesla price target, and their new expected value for Tesla in 2027 is $2,000 a share, or a $5 trillion market cap. That is insane. What are you $5 trillion in 4 years for Tesla? That's not happening. Like, that is not happening. $5 trillion. You think it's going to be worth more than Apple? And Apple is a cash printing business. Apple's got so much money, they don't know what to do with it. Like, to compare Tesla to Apple, I don't think you can do that. And if you think Tesla's going to be more valuable than Apple in like 4 years, I just think that's absolutely insane. All these bears or bulls always have insane price targets, putting Tesla into the trillions, multi-trillion-dollar market cap, which maybe one day it gets there, maybe, if they can ever actually launch their full self-driving and do the robo-taxis that they want. But I don't see a very clear path there, and I also don't think that Tesla is worth this $1 trillion or like $5 trillion company in 4 years. I don't see that happening. I see retail kind of diminishing and turning away from Tesla, which was the biggest reason Tesla grew to where it is now, was the retail buyers and retail, not institutional. So if retail starts to leave Tesla and starts to look at what Elon's saying like, we can't trust this guy, or he promises the same thing every year, and every single year it's let down, eventually they're going to walk away. And especially since now Elon Musk is tied up with Twitter, he might have too much on his plate, focusing on Twitter, which is drowning in debt. And he's got to try and figure that out. And in order to finance Twitter, he's selling Tesla stock. He's losing control of Tesla. He doesn't have the same pull he used to have because he's been selling shares to fund Twitter, and more of his time is going towards Twitter instead of Tesla. So, how much time can he actually dedicate to Tesla? How much time can he put there to keep growing the company and talking about it? Or is he going to try and grow Twitter? Because ultimately, there's more value to be had from growing Twitter than growing Tesla, right? Because to grow Tesla to, more $1 trillion company again is not going to be more worth it to him than growing Twitter from a 40 billion that he paid for it to a $250 billion, which is what he puts out there. So maybe his rewards are more focused on growing Twitter than Tesla. But I guess we'll see what happens with Elon Musk and Tesla. I don't think Tesla's going like bankrupt and they're gonna like disappear in a few years and not be able to make it around. But I don't think that they're going to a $5 trillion market cap. I don't think they're launching full self-driving anytime soon. I don't think they're launching robo-taxis anytime soon. All the things they've been harping on for a long time, I don't think is coming for a long time. So we'll see how it all goes. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video.